Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I am your host. I'll be here for the full hour, answering as many of your immigration law related questions as I can. Now, just so you know, I am a one-man show today. It is me, myself, and I. I do not have my trusty sidekick, Hooli, here. Oh, look at this. We just started the show, and we already have some good news from Villa Mesa. My I-130 was approved yesterday. Well, how about that? That is what I'm talking about. That's some good news. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're all having a good day, a good Wednesday. Wednesday is supposed to be my day off, but things are pretty busy here at Old Hacking Immigration Law, so I'll be working on Wednesdays for the foreseeable futures. Plus, my house is a war zone. Our ground floor is under construction. There are people working all over the place, and the house is no fun to be at. So I hope you're having some fun. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Wait a minute. We got somebody in Mongolia watching. I think that's a first. Glenn is in Mongolia. That's pretty amazing. We got people in Utah, Tampa, Chicago, Texas. Everybody's joining in. I'm glad to see it. What do you guys want to talk about today? I made a new video yesterday about a case that came down from a federal court. So this is an interesting one. I might be able to give you the short version. So a lady has a green card, and the lady applies for citizenship. The lady, how do I turn this thing off? The lady, she owns a store, and at that store, she sells marijuana. And marijuana is legal to sell in the state in which she lives. So I don't know what state she lived in. Let's say it's Colorado. The state where she lived, marijuana selling was legal. But here's the thing. We have the federal government and federal laws, and we have state law. Marijuana remains a controlled substance on the schedule of controlled substances, and technically it's a federal crime to sell marijuana. Now, I guess the federal government is looking the other way in these states where marijuana sales is legal, but it raises an interesting question. So this lady applied for citizenship as a green card holder. And of course, longtime viewers of this show know that in order to become a U.S. citizen, you have to show that you have 5 years of good moral character. Well, guess what? Those dirty dogs at USCIS, they said, well, we know that it's legal for you in your home state to sell the devil's lettuce, but it's not legal under federal law. So therefore, you are not a person of good moral character, and therefore, we are not going to give you your citizenship. So she appealed and filed an action in federal court to challenge that determination, and the federal courts have upheld the right of USCIS to deny someone for admitting to selling marijuana out of a legal store. Now, I think you can take it even more broadly than that, and that is if marijuana is legal in your state to smoke and you admit to smoking it to USCIS, I think they could use that against you under the same theory. So it's really tricky making TikToks about marijuana because if you talk about marijuana or dope, they suppress it. They don't show it. So I had to be very crafty in my video yesterday and talk about green lettuce and things like devil's lettuce and things like that. So luckily here on YouTube, I can say what I want and they don't penalize me for using the words that everybody else uses. So that'll do it for me. It looks like the waiting room is lining up already. I'm going to go ahead and post the link one more time just so that everybody has it. And then we'll be off to the races. And I'm going to start with Ahinoam, but just give me 1 second. Copy that. There we go. All right. Hello there.
Hi. It's actually for him.
Oh,
Hi.
hello.
Hi.
It's all good. How you guys doing?
Good.
What do you got for me?
Yeah, you can explain the problem.
We applied for a re-entry permit last April. We got fingerprint all cleared up end of May. Then I left the United States end of July. and I have not received any response regarding the reentry permit.
So
And more than 6 months have passed. Yeah, and I have a green card, by the way.
so you're talking about April of 2022.
Yeah.
So you have a reentry permit, and so it's sort of the old rule that says you can leave before you get your reentry permit. I've been telling people for a really long time, don't do that anymore. I believe that USCIS is much, 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 much better at keeping track who's in the United States and who's not in the United States. So in the old days, for a marriage-based green card case, you used to be able to apply for a travel document and leave even before you received it. Those days are over. And I think that's probably moved over into reentry permit. So I think they're sitting on your reentry permit because you left 2 months after you filed it and didn't wait to receive it, I think.
Well, now we have an
Okay.
issue no matter what they're doing, and that is that we have to renew there's two issues. One is that we have a son, and I have to be for my work in the United States this summer, and I've kind of been delaying me going there because we want to go together. And then but we don't have the permit. And then another issue is that he has to renew his green card after 2 years, and that's in October.
Well,
So
that's
how
not
can we
that's not renewing the green card. You mean the removal of conditions is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is all a big mess. These are not good decisions. So as soon as you got to 4 months after filing for that reentry permit and being outside the United States, as soon as you got to 4 months, you should have come back. Why didn't you come back?
No, so the long story is we're actually here. We're in the Netherlands now. We're here for my husband's work, but there is a possibility that we return for my work back to the United States.
I understand that, but he left the United States, in June last year?
July. We both left. Yeah, both left.
But you get to do whatever you want because you're a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not too worried about you. I'm worried about him. So he left in July. He had not received the reentry permit, and he had not received permission to stay outside the United States for more than 6 months. So that should have sounded alarm bells, and he should have come back right away.
I assumed that once I apply for reentry permit, I have to wait in order to come back, and I didn't wait to get it before I left.
No, because I think it used to be that it would only take half a year, and now it's already been a whole year, and they haven't sent it back to us. And we messaged them, and they said we can only file a complaint in February of 2024.
Have you been paying attention to what's going on at USCIS? They're slow about everything.
Yeah.
But regardless of what they did wrong, you shouldn't have left the United States before getting your reentry permit. And more importantly, once it got close to 6 months of being out, you should have come back. You didn't need the reentry permit to come back. And so my advice is come back to the United States right away.
No, so okay, this is good because I actually want us. But the thing is that we don't know what will happen at the airport.
That's right, we don't. But his only chance of keeping his residency is to come back.
So what will happen at the airport?
What will happen at the airport? I don't know. I don't know what will happen at the airport. That's the great unknown. I mean, he has a green card. The green card when did the green card start?
October of 2022.
So from October of 22 until July
21. October 21.
From October of 21 till July of 22, he stayed in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if they ask, why were you outside the United States for so long? What are you going to say?
What should he say?
For employment and for reasons.
Here's a great answer to that. The truth.
Employment and the fact that it wasn't easy for us to travel back during this time because of a baby and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that the whole question when someone stays out of the United States for more than 6 months is whether or not they've abandoned their residency. And of course, applying for a reentry permit is one piece of evidence that they have not abandoned their residency. I think there's a 90% chance that if he gets on a plane with you tomorrow and tries to come back to the United States, they're just going to let him on in.
That's
really
good news.
the problem with 6 months is really for U.S. citizenship. So I would consider his clock restarting for whenever he wants to apply for citizenship once he gets back, right? So I don't think you're going to get the credit. I think you've lost by going outside for more than 6 months, unless you've kept a house, paid taxes, and kept a bank account and like run your life in America too. I think you've abandoned your residency for purposes of citizenship. But as far as losing the green card, I think the chances of you you might get grilled a little bit, you might get some trouble, and you need to be careful how you answer the questions. But I think I'd be very surprised if they didn't let you back in.
Okay, last question. Then what is in the 10% chance? Do you just send him on a flight back?
Nah, they got to take his green card. The worst case scenario, I think, is that they would put him in removal and try to take his green card, and then all you got to do is file a new green card application and just stay here. The long and the short of it is you need to stay here for a long time and not do this ever again. Don't ever have a trip outside more than 6 months.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was super useful.
Bye, guys. All right. Art is here. Hello, Art.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm great. I like that Angels hat.
Right? So
How
it's
you
not
doing?
more of a question. It's just more of I had my interview yesterday at the San Bernardino office.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. How was it?
I passed the same day O ceremony.
Nice. So in other words, you're calling us your first day after becoming a U.S. citizen.
Yes, sir.
Represent.
All right. And on one of your live streams, you had mentioned that before the actual interview starts, kind of look around the room, see if you can find something in common. Well, she was also an Angels fan.
Nice.
So we started talking. I mean, at first, when we first go through the door, she was kind of cold. I greeted myself and she was just like, hey. So we went back and then she was prepping the paperwork. And as soon as I saw that she was an Angels fan, started talking to her, changed the dynamic of the interview completely.
Nice. I love it. That's great.
Yeah, right. And I remembered you had mentioned that. It went from her being cold to start talking about Angels, baseball, and stuff. And come to find out that morning, her alarm clock had not gone off and she was late. So she had mentioned that she was in a bad mood that morning. But I remember that. And then I think, honestly, that's what helped the dynamic of the actual interview.
Nice.
So wanted to say, people, listen to him. He knows what he's talking about.
Thank you, Art. I appreciate it. That's good news. And I'm really happy for you. Congratulations.
All right, Jim, that was it. Just want to thank you for everything you've done.
Thanks, man. I'm happy for you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Now, the Angels, I always like the Angels because they're sort of second-class citizens in Los Angeles, and they're American League, and I hate the Dodgers. So Angels fans are always good in my book. Plus, Albert went there for a while from St. Louis, and they have Mike Trout, who I love, who's just awesome, and Shohei Ohtani, who is a great, great baseball player. Hamed is here. Hello, Hamed.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
I'm well, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. I don't know if you remember me. I was on your show a few weeks ago, or maybe
I remember your face. I don't remember your issue.
Yeah. So I have applied for my wife like 2 years ago. She's been qualified for the visa almost like 9 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
The U.S. Embassy is back in Islamabad.
Yeah.
And I remember telling you about like if I transferred the embassy to the UAE or somewhere in the Middle Eastern countries. So you said, you would be happy to see that happening, them accepting it, but it's a risk or whatever. But luckily I sent an email to the UAE embassy in Abu Dhabi, and they got back to me after like 10 days, which was last night. And they said that since I'm not the residence, so I'm going on like visit visa, and I mentioned the whole thing. I had supporting documents with me, doctor notes, employer letter, and they said that when my wife enters Abu Dhabi, like they want to see the stamp and stuff on the visa and the stamp. As soon as I send that to them, since this is like a 30-day short visa or like 60 days, they will expedite it and transfer my case. So, and I told them that my case and from Islamabad, that's what they said. They would transfer my case from Islamabad, and they would expedite it. So I told them that my case, because on the website when I go in for the State Department, it says the case is still at the NVC. It's not in at Pakistan, obviously, for interview. So that now I'm worried, and they said that they would arrange everything as soon as they receive the proof that my wife is in Abu Dhabi. So the thing is, should I contact NBC on my own or just let it be? Because I read on the State Department that you need to be a resident of a country to transfer a case, you know? So what I did was I directly contacted them. What should I do? Like, should I just
And
leave?
you didn't make any representations that you or she were from UAE, obviously, because they knew she needed a visa. So no, I say go for it. I say I wouldn't bother the NBC. I would just do what the embassy said. I would get her in there. I mean, there's a chance it's all a waste of money and time, but if you can shave a year off waiting, I think it's worth
Yeah.
it. I would do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, the thing is, like, you know, they didn't mention like a time period. I can just apply. I was thinking of maybe going next month and just doing everything since I have, you know, like a proof to prove. I mean, for a IR1 visa category, I think the interview is basically asking to prove the relationship if it's a legitimate
And it's pretty
relationship.
short. It's pretty short. And do you still want to come to America? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I have all the proof. I have a daughter with her, and you know,
Yeah.
I think should I? And another question is, should I like upload pictures of us traveling in Pakistan when I was there, the daughter's passport, just to prove that you know this relationship is like legitimate? I mean, you know,
I
there's
would, I would just get working on getting her to UAE and go from there.
okay. And one more thing. So I filed the 3 years tax that they were asking up to 2021.
Yeah.
I updated that. It got accepted and everything. Should I upload my 2022 tax transcript and stuff, or is not?
Yeah, I would, and I might even do those those pictures of you in Pakistan, just because they sometimes want updated stuff at the embassy. So yeah, if you can upload, I would. Yeah.
Okay, so upload the tax transcript for 2022 and
Yeah.
some extra pictures.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I mean, they said that you know, like they will take care of everything as soon as I go there. Do you think, like, I know it's a risk. Do you think it's worth, like, you know, the shot? Like, because they told me that, you know, they'll expedite everything, but they can't guarantee, like, if it goes, you know, after the interview, if it goes into like
Administrative processing.
Yeah. So
Like I said, if you can afford it, then I
Mhm.
think it's worth the gamble.
okay.
What do you probably a couple $1,000 to shave off a year?
For
I would
sure.
do it. I would do it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just the tickets, the hotels and stuff like that. It'll be like 5,000 or something. I'm okay with it. Like, you know, it's just a year wait. It's better to just go in and get it done.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for
Keep us posted, okay?
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, Kashif is here. Hello, Kashif.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Jim, I have my naturalization interview by the end of this month. One question I answered as no when I was filing online, and that was about citation from law enforcement officer. So at that time, I did not remember, but later when I was scrolling through my documents, I indeed find a citation back in 2018, which I had taken care of at that time. It was like $87 fine. So how to go from here? Should I add some supplement to my online application, or just during the interview I have to tell the officer that this is what happened and I just forgot to mention it earlier?
So that's a great question. I'll make a video about that. What I would do is two things. One is you have to get certified records of the disposition of the citation. So you got to prove to them that you paid the fine.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, you need to do what's called an errata sheet, ERRATA. If you go to my YouTube channel and type in errata sheet, it'll tell you exactly how to prepare it. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to type out that question, and then you're going to type out the answer. You put the section number, the question number at the top in bold, and then you type out the question, and then you type out your new answer that just says, I received a citation in Brentwood on January 3rd, 2022, and I paid the fine and the case was dismissed. Attached, please find. the disposition. I always like to have people write that down and bring it, because then there's no dispute like, oh, well, he didn't tell me that until I busted him and said he had a citation. So I think overall this is not a big deal, but that's how I would handle it.
I see. And how can I get the certified disposition from court where the case was? So what I have right now is the original defendant copy that was handed over by the officer. Would that okay? I need something certified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I will get that. Another thing is that I moved from Iowa to Texas like a couple of years back. One thing that I did not do, I don't know whether this can be a problem or not. I did not return my license plates. I registered my car here, but I still have my license plates. I did not pay any. Nobody. Okay, that's not a big deal.
I mean, at our house, they're up on my dad's workbench. So nobody cares about license plates.
Okay. Just wanting to cover all my bases.
What field office?
Mm-hmm.
What field office?
It's in Irving, Dallas field office in Irving.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my questions. Thank you for answering. Okay.
Bye, Kasha. See you, buddy.
See you.
Alvaro is here. What do you say, Alvaro?
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. It's next month. It's going to be a year since we filed the I-130 with you guys. So I checked a few weeks ago, actually, the time remaining, and says roughly about 3 months. So I'm staying hopeful on that.
Yeah.
Now I had a question, more like a question advice. So my wife is graduating from university, and they're having a graduation in Vegas. We've been to Vegas before once when we got married 4 years ago. And so we're going back, but they want to visit Hoover Dam. So I've never been that far down, and I know that Hoover Dam is pretty close to Arizona. So my question to you is, like, what advice would you give me? Do you think it would be safe to drive down there from Vegas to Hoover Dam?
I think probably, but here's the thing. I've never in my life been in a place where I saw so many cops as Arizona. Never in my whole life. I'm like, holy cow, what is going on here? Like, every third car is a big ass truck or Bronco with cops in it, right? So I think it'll be fine, but you don't want to have any interaction with law enforcement unless you have to.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, coming from the Nevada side, I've been to the Hoover Dam from the Nevada side and from the Phoenix side, the Arizona side.
Yeah. Well, I'll work. Sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, you're working to get your process straightened out. I think it's fine.
Yeah, and we're coming from the Nevada side. Like, we're coming from California, going to Nevada, and then.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't sweat it.
All right. Yeah, I was just that's something that was in the back of my mind. Now, I know that I've been afraid to fly, just because of my situation. It's still not recommended. I have my driver's license and everything, so should I just make the drive instead of flying?
It's sort of the same thing. You got to be careful. Probably no problem, but you don't want to cause any problems. But generally, I think people have reported to me flying no problem.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because my wife was saying that once you land at the airport and go through TSA, they would ask me for a green card, and I was like, I don't think that's the case, but she wants to cover her bases.
Yeah, I mean, just to be totally careful, you could drive, but it's up to you.
Okay. All right. Well, that was it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you do, and I hope that I get to hear good news soon.
I hope so too. And remember, when you get to Vegas, always bet on black.
Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right, David's here. Hello, David.
Hi, how you doing, Jim?
I'm well. How are you?
Great. You've been helped to me way back before. We've talked a couple of times.
Great.
I have a quick question. My question is, I was once denied entry into America, all right? And then on the interview question that I've been reading online, there's some of the questions that come out is, have you been to America before? So I just wanted to know, being denied entry into America, do I answer yes or do I answer no?
Well, what happened?
I basically had a transit visa. I was going to Guyana, but my onward ticket, like my return ticket, had a problem. And then I tried to buy an onward ticket there, and they did not allow me to buy it. Basically, that was it.
So they didn't let you into the United States.
I did not enter United States.
So the question is, as I'm standing there at the border being at the airport, I'm trying to get in. Have I ever entered the United States? I think you're gonna have to explain that one. So I might leave it blank with an explanation in the text part.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jim, and thank you for the good work and all the information.
Bye, David. See you, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's say hi to Olamuyiwa. How you doing, Olu?
Hello, Jim. Hello.
What's going on?
Well, Jim, I'm gonna make it real short. I've got good news. I had called earlier in March to report about receiving approval for my advanced parole before work authorization. But now my I-130 and I-485 has been approved, and my green card came in the mail. I think it was on Monday.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, I came to give the good news, and then I wanted to make you an offer. I know you said many times on here that Nigeria is one of the places you like to visit. So I want to say, anytime you want to go to Nigeria, Jim, let me know. I'll coordinate with you so that I can show you around. I'll travel to Nigeria the same time you want to go to Nigeria, and I can show you and your wife around.
That would be great. We want to go to Nigeria and Ghana, so that would be great.
All right. Just let me know when you want to go. You can announce it on here.
Yeah, I'll just start saying it on the show. Yeah.
Oh, right. And because I'm watching the video all the time.
Awesome.
That way I can plan to do that with you.
That would be great. Thank you, Olu. Happy for you.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call.
Bye.
Yeah, for sure. Very nice. How about that? I got my own tour guide in Nigeria. My man Olu is going to set me up. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, Olu. Let's say hi to Vida. Vida, are you with us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I got you. Go ahead.
Perfect. So I actually asked a couple questions a couple weeks ago. My case scenario is that we just got a receipt notice. It says form I-797C. Is that just a receipt from the I-130 petition, or does that mean anything? Are we able to submit any other documents as far as requesting residency or a green card for my husband? I'm a permanent resident, by the way.
So do you know about the visa bulletin?
I do, and still says it's 2020. So that's why I was just kind of
right. So
curious.
So on your spouse's 797C, which is, yes, an answer to your question, that is the receipt for the I-130. On the I-130, you have a priority date, and the priority date for the spouses and children of permanent residents, they're working on cases from September of 2020. So well, wait a minute. The final action date is 2020, but the filing date is current. So don't go running off and filing the 45, but I believe that means that you can file the 45 now since it's current. At least it was current on the May visa bulletin. I haven't seen the June visa bulletin yet. So if you want to email me, I can check to see if you're eligible to file for the 45 now. But if it's still current, I'd probably check the June visa bulletin to see if the action date, not the filing date, is current, then I think you could go ahead and file.
So this I-797C is an okay for us to file as long as the bullet says it's current for June.
I believe that's correct.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And then I do have another question. I know you're going to look into it, but I was just wondering if you found out. My case scenario was that I applied for my citizenship last beginning of the year. I got my green card through my mom as a widow of a citizen. I was just wondering if you ever got any info or like a child of a widow, if I need to wait 3 or 5 years for citizenship.
Did you email the office?
I did, but I haven't really gotten any response.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Can you, if you email one more time, email me both those questions and say in big bold letters, Jim told me to email up on in the memo line, then they'll send that to me tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I didn't see your email. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. Sounds good. That main question was the I-31. So as long as the filing is current on June bullet, then we can go ahead and continue to apply with the rest of the travel and the work permit forms, right?
Yeah, but what's your spouse's current immigration status?
He's an F1, so he has it until 2025.
Do you want to travel? Is that a goal?
The goal is work permit. That's the main goal. Work.
Okay. Yeah, that you would be able, if you're able to file the 45, you can file the whole thing.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. I'll look up on the bulletin. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bye, Vita. See ya. All right. Georgie's here. Hello, Georgie.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Good. Quick question. Someone on the K1 visa applying for I-485 doesn't actually have an A number. Can the person use a passport number instead?
Use the passport number for what instead?
The A number.
No, just leave it blank.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about when filling out the 45?
I-5, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you don't, not everybody has an A number, and it's okay to not have an A number.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Georgie.
Yeah.
All right. Love is here. Hello, Love.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, good. So my question is, my brother crossed the border, and then we crossed the border, and then they how can I say that? They not giving him asylum, but they returned to the court because they think he might be eligible for asylum. But
because why? Because why?
They refer him to the court because in the FOIA they says he have like credible fear, and then they let him in the U.S. And then I was looking at his FOIA because the lawyer that he has did it for him so he can file for TPS and other benefit. And then I saw in the FOIA, they spell my name wrong because I'm only the relative he have here. And then it states that I'm a permanent resident. Does that affect me?
Are you not a permanent resident?
No, not yet.
So did he tell them that you were a permanent resident?
So I don't know because I asked him, he said he didn't tell them that. And then on my name, they spell my name wrong. And then they only have two boxes you can check, U.S. Citizen and permanent resident.
So if the question is, are you worried about, am I worried about information about me that's in my brother's immigration file? Generally, I'm not worried about that.
Oh, so that doesn't affect me?
That isn't what I said. I said generally I'm not worried about that. I don't know if it's going to affect you or not. I mean, I suppose they could try to investigate whether or not you're telling everyone you're a green card holder, but I think it's just some random note in your brother's file that's never going to make its way to you.
Okay, sounds good. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, great.
Hi.
All right, Virat is here. Hello, Virat.
Hey, hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. What's up?
I have a question, Jim. So I submitted my medical. It's been like more than 2 months now. So still I haven't heard back anything. So
Yes. How long ago did you file?
It's been like almost 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Marriage case?
Yeah.
Is everything okay with the marriage?
Yeah, everything is okay, and my I-130 is approved. So
What was your status before you filed for the 45?
I was on F1. Now I'm on H1B.
That seems strange that it's taken 2 years. What field office would you be at if you had an interview?
Michigan, Detroit.
I don't know. That's weird. It shouldn't take 2 years to get a green card based on marriage, even as slow as they are.
Okay.
You might need to sue them.
Oh, because I just sent the medical like almost two months ago. So this is the right time to sue, or can I wait something?
Yeah, the big question. I mean, you can sue whenever you want. It's whenever you feel like you're tired of waiting. But 2 years is a really long time, and even 2 months after a medical is a long time. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, but one thing I opened a service request. That service request not yet completed. Is it okay to sue or something? Or,
Oh yeah, I don't care about those service requests.
Oh, okay. Okay. We need to contact your office on this one, or
Yeah, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com.
okay. What is the filing fees on this one, Jim?
The filing fee is $402, and our legal fee is $4,800, so it's $5,202. If you pay up front, you get $500 off. Otherwise, we can do a payment plan.
Yeah, just curious, like how long we will get to know like about next result or something?
Probably about 2 or 3 months, most likely.
Oh, okay, 2-3 months. All right, Jim, that's all I have. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Virat. Talk to you later.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye, buddy. Oh, the other Shabazz is back. Hello, other Shabazz.
Hey, Jimmy boy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I hope you don't mind me calling you Jimmy boy. Jim, thanks for bringing me on. Can I ask you a couple of questions today, if you don't mind?
Go for it.
Okay, Jim, you know how you tell people on the show that unauthorized work is forgiven if you're married to a U.S. citizen, and you got to be honest about it, and also about the overstay that if they're married to a U.S. citizen, that is forgiven. The question is a little bit technical here. So, say for example, someone is married to a U.S. citizen and they had overstay past their visa, that's forgiven as per law. What about working within the first 60 or 90 days? Are they allowed to do that? You know what I mean?
No one's allowed to work without permission. No one's allowed to work till they get the work authorization. I think what you're asking me is the fact that somebody enters the United States and starts working right away, is that also forgiven? Is that held to a different standard? And I think that is actually a great question. Is that what you're trying to ask me?
Yeah, exactly. You got it right. You put it the right way. That's exactly what I meant. Like, you know, does that mean that they had the intention, they lied, and yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the real problem with that kind of a case, is that if somebody says to the embassy official or even to the customs official, "Oh, I'm coming to New York because I'm going to this conference. I'm a doctor and I'm going to go to a medical conference, or I'm just going to a conference," and they don't say anything other than that. And then they go straight from the airport to Sal's Famous and start selling pizzas at their cousin's pizza restaurant, and then later on they marry somebody, right? So that's sort of the scenario we're talking about. So I've actually had this exact case a couple times, and almost every single time the person gets hit with a misrepresentation charge and has to prove that their spouse would suffer a hardship. So then you're talking about a 601 hardship for the misrepresentation. So that's a different problem. It's not so much that you worked, it's that you worked right away and you misrepresented why you were coming to the United States.
Got it. Okay, I understand. Okay, fair enough. Jim, what are your thoughts about the embassy in Montreal? How are these guys?
Slow,
Okay.
be difficult. Can be difficult. Discriminates against South Asians in my experience.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. 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 And have you any experience? I probably think you would. Buffalo, New York, Hartford, Connecticut, or New Jersey. How are these guys field offices?
Haven't been to Buffalo. Monty went to Buffalo. Hartford's fine. I had 2 cases there, and New Jersey is just as you would think. It's pretty tough. It's a very busy place. It's sort of a rough and tumble place. I think it's like a dirtier version of Manhattan field office. I would say Philly and New Jersey are always up for a good fight.
Oh, okay. But it's just are they just tough like Florida? They think everyone that is lying and coming in, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, but in New Jersey, I had a case completely unravel right in front of me. It was a tough marriage case, and the officer came after one of the clients, and it did not go well. So I probably have a bad taste in my mouth from there, but that was just that one case.
Okay. All right, Jim, I know there's other people. I'll make it quick. Last one for you. I know you've mentioned you've educated us. You're not really supposed to get married within the first 60 days. And some people do not know that. I'll just tell you about me. We got married in America, me and my wife. But I've had multiple entries back and forth over the last 20 years. I've been in and out, right? So it was to my surprise that she said, let's just get married here. It's almost like I came in, got married, and right away we both left. And we left for Canada. Okay. So is that considered as, wrong intention that you knew? Well, I didn't know that you were coming to get married here. I mean, we had to get married somewhere.
I think that's a good question. In my experience, when the foreign national comes to the U.S. and then gets married, but then doesn't try to adjust status, but instead goes overseas and does consular processing, they don't hold that against you. That's just a marriage. In my experience, they haven't hit anybody for getting married really early, like a week or two after they, like sometimes people come for 2 weeks and get married towards the end, right? And then they go back. In my experience, USCIS and the State Department haven't held that against people.
I mean, like, how there's some people, they want to make it a, wonderful wedding. They would travel to, I don't know, Hawaii or maybe go to Barbados, and they want to have a blast there. So, like, I got married in America. It's registered there. And right after the wedding, literally the day we were done with the whole ceremony, we right away drove to Niagara Falls and into Canada. And we just lived and remained in Canada. That's okay, right? I mean, it's not like.
And then your wife filed an I-130 for you.
No. We never remember. Just to remind you from our last call, we did think many times, Jim, where to live, and we ended up remaining in Canada. We traveled to go visit family every now and then. I did talk to her that, hey, you want to go back? And she's like, yeah, let's go. But, but I just thought, if I am going to do, this process, counselor, whatnot, will they bring that up? Oh, like, 10 years ago, you came in on June 1st and you got married on June 2nd, will they make up that fuss? But we never.
No, in my mind, that rule is really designed. I mean, it's probably designed for lots of reasons, but I think the real practical reason they do that is to try to prevent people from skipping ahead the line of people that file an I-130 and wait for the consular process. They don't want you like getting married and then filing for adjustment instead of waiting overseas. So I think that's really the heart of the rule. So the fact that this happened 10 years ago really helps you. And the fact that you waited so long to file your I-130 helps you. So I wouldn't split this at all.
Okay. I mean, I think that really applies to people who are going to adjust status. They're not really supposed to get married within the first 60, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Jim, thanks for taking questions from me. I appreciate it. I will come back. I'm on the road. I just got back. Thank you so much.
You always have good questions. So thank you, Shabazz.
I have a lot more, but there's so many people in line. So I'll come back maybe tomorrow.
Bye, buddy. All right. We haven't seen our old friend Shabazz, the OG Shabazz. So OG, if you're watching, I hope you're well. I hope you got USCIS to approve that damn I-130. All right. I wanted to bring up a post from our friend Munir Very interesting. Munir says a close friend of mine's I-140, which is an employment-based immigrant visa application, got rejected because they say the person. So let's just call the person Osman. So Osman was approved for an I-140. So whenever you file for an I-140, you have to submit documentation that you have the experience to do the job. So apparently Munir's friend made up a job that he allegedly performed in Pakistan for 2 years. The embassy in Islamabad went out and let's say that Usman said he was working at a factory, and they knock on the door at the factory and they say, "Hey, everybody, where's the HR department?" "Oh, down the hall." So they go down the hall and they say, "Hey, where's Usman's work history? Can you show us? Did he work? He said he worked here from 2019 to 2021. Let's see the records." "Who? Osman? No, that dude never worked here. No way." So the State Department's like, "What the F?" And then they say, "Ha ha ha, we're revoking your I-140, Usman, because you lied to us and you never really worked at that factory." That's what Munir is saying. So it's pretty see, the employers deny that they ever employed that person. Oh, he's in the United States. Oh, wow, that's really harsh. So that thank you, Munir. The lesson there is then that USCIS is working with embassies to check credentials. Ooh, this is a new video. I-140 lied about the experience. So this dude's in the United States. He's in big trouble. He's probably going to get deported for immigration fraud. Lied in the job history. Woo! I'm going to make a video about that. So that's a first. I have not heard about that. I've heard about the State Department and USCIS working more closely together, but I haven't heard of them working to verify someone's job. Now, 2 years is a pretty big chunk, and it probably, if it's an EB3 employment-based green card, then it's probably a big chunk of the person's alleged experience. So that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Munir. Nasir says, we're all missing Shabazz. Yes, we are. Of course we are. Okay, let's say hi to Rita. Hello, Rita. Rita, are you with us? Hello, Rita. All right.
I'm with us.
Oh, good. I was just getting ready to drop you. How you doing?
Sorry.
What's up? Hello? All right. Rita's out of here. Let's say hi to Joe. What's up, Joe Mama? Go ahead, Joe.
Jim.
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just a quick question. Okay, last month my VAWA was approved and they sent me the approval notice. So my lawyer attached the approval notice and just submitted. So he sent it back and they transferred my case to a different field office. So yesterday I was checking. No, I mean this morning I was checking on my case, and it shows that they sent me an initial request for evidence. But I know throughout the process I've sent all evidence needed to be sent, except for maybe I never submitted any medicals. So do you have any idea like what exactly they might be asking me for?
Probably. That's probably it.
Oh, that's probably for the medical, right?
Yeah.
All right. But in case of if it's something else, I've already, like most of us, we never got to know you on time. But like I know you understand what I mean. Like,
yes,
it's throughout the YouTube shows that we came in contact with you. But if we were to be known already, we could have hired you or maybe get
that's
through
okay.
you. But that's
people
why
don't
sometimes
people don't have to apologize for not hiring me before. It's okay, Joe. Go ahead.
because sometimes we feel very guilty for asking you questions because I feel like we're taking advantage of your credentials or anything.
No. I'm here of my own free will. So I'm happy to be here, Joe.
All right, but in case if it's something else and I need to contact your office, how much do you charge to take it from over there.
Well, it depends what it is. We'd have to look it over and see what it is.
All right. I really appreciate it. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam. See you, Joe.
All right.
All right. Mark is here. Hello, Mark.
Oh, my goodness. I'm doing good. It's nice to be on the program. I just want to let you know I've watched a lot of your videos. Very informative. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Because when I started this process, of course, I tried to talk to USCIS, and you can't talk to anybody.
Yeah, good try.
Right. And then I actually contacted my local representative, and they haven't done a thing for me. They haven't even. I've given them privacy notice, etc., and they just haven't done a thing. So
what do you got going on? What kind of case?
Well, I thought this was fairly straightforward. Well, first of all, my wife is in the Philippines. I married her in the Philippines last October.
Okay.
Okay. I met her in 2014. So this is a long-term relationship. I've been going to the Philippines. I was going twice a year before COVID. And of course, they didn't let foreigners come in. I'd have gotten married earlier, but I was in the middle of a divorce.
Sure.
And so my divorce wasn't final. So I wasn't going to, get married to somebody when I'm not legally able.
You couldn't.
Right.
Right.
So got the divorce finalized, went over, got married in last October. So recently applied just for a visitor visa, got her in, got the into the appointment. As soon as the officer found out she was married to an American, then it's like, we're done with the interview.
Of course.
Because they can't believe that a Filipino would come back
right
on a visitor visa.
Right. And most people married to a U.S. citizen are not going to get visit visas no matter what country they're in.
Right. No, I understand that. The situation for us is pretty simple. We actually have family here. We've got a lot of family there. And our intentions is actually, hopefully, to be able to keep both of those families intact. So just wanted her to come and visit. Well, so that was denied. So working on the I-130 right now. Okay. I haven't submitted it yet because I've been seeing all the documentation that's needed. And we've got a lot. But, some of the things that we are probably weakest on is we don't have bills or contracts in both of our names. Because
sure. Well, that's okay.
She's over there.
So I made a video, I think recently, about there's one set of documents that they want for people that live together, and then they understand when the foreign national lives overseas. They're not expecting you to have a utility bill with her name on it. That's just silly.
Well, she has bills. She has stuff with her name on it, but I'm not on it.
No, I mean a utility bill at your house in
Right.
Texas or wherever you live that has her name on it. That nobody's looking for that.
So this is my question. I'm going to be sending in the I-130 pretty soon. Just trying to get all my docs together. Is there a way to actually have her come and spend some time, or do I just need to get this all completed and spend the time it takes to get her a green card, which has not been our primary concern anyway?
I know, but they're only built for that. They're only built for a green card or no. That's all they're built for. I did a video recently. No such thing as a girlfriend or boyfriend visa. It's sort of the same thing applies.
Right.
No,
so there's no visit visa. The only thing I can do is just go over there.
That was a waste of time. Yeah, you lost a lot of time with that. So just get the I-130 on file, because this I-130 is going to take 2 years to process through Manila.
And there's no way for her to come visit during that time.
You already tried.
I know. I didn't know if there was another kind of thing. There's the T's of the K3, but that's a joke too.
Right.
Okay. Well, I guess that answers my question.
Bye, Mark. See you, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, I think Rita tried to come back. Let's see if we got her. Rita, are you with us?
I'm with you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question was, I'm getting married on next Friday, and my fiance has overstayed his visa. So I know all of that will be forgiven, but I guess my main question is, because my family on my dad's side is in Morocco. I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born here with my mother, but my father lives in Morocco, and he really wants to meet him. So once we get all of our paperwork together and submit it, and would he be able to meet him within, or will he have to wait for his green card?
So my vote, when the individual is out of status at the time of marriage and at the time of filing, my vote is that they wait here till they get the actual green card, not when they get the travel document.
Okay. Okay. That's what I thought. I
I mean,
just wanted to
technically he
make
can
sure
leave
because my
once he
dad
get.
was very
Technically he
adamant
can get.
about meeting him.
Technically he can get. He can. Technically he can leave when he gets the travel document. But here's the thing: everything's upside down at USCIS right now. The travel document is taking a really long time. Most people are just getting the green card first anyway, so you might not even have to worry about this. Because obviously he can't leave till he gets one or the other. But if he's out of status, we don't want him leaving until he gets the green card. That's my vote.
Okay. My other question is, sorry, I'm like drawing a blank.
That's okay.
I wanted to know, so like he's been at the same company, that's where we met at work. And he's been at the same company for like 17 years. Is that going to affect anything? Is he going to have to leave his job and try to find a new job or anything like that? Like,
You mean he's been
how
in
does
the
that
United
work?
States out of status for 17 years?
Yeah. I don't know if it's quite been that long out of status, but he's been out of status for a while. Yes.
Well, let's make sure. You're sure he entered with a visa? You've seen the visa? That's if he has a visa stamp, that's the most important.
He entered with, yeah, he was a student. He entered as a student
And you got
with a
proof?
student visa. Yes. He still has his passport and his visa.
Okay, so tonight I want you to go home and take a picture of that because that's literally, other than you, that's the most important thing he has in his life, right? So that you cannot lose that. That's the
Is his
most
visa?
important thing. That proof that he entered legally. That's the most important
Right.
thing. So make sure you have a digital copy of that tonight.
Okay.
So that's an
Okay.
interesting question. So the question is, will USCIS go out and investigate this company that's employed this dude for 17 years without authorization? That's the question.
Correct. I mean,
I-
not even, I guess I just want to make sure like he would be able to keep his employment.
in my experience, they don't have the resources to go out and investigate. Now, in theory, that could, like, let's just say, you know, in most offices where USCIS is, ICE is either down the hall or on a different floor or they're nearby, and you know, maybe 1 out of 100 officers would like call their buddy down at ICE and say, "Hey, I just had this guy here, and he says he's been working for XYZ company for 17 years. You should go investigate their ass." I don't think they ever do that, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Okay. And what do you think about the field office, the Baltimore field office? Do you think
Oh,
that?
it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
They work hard. They work hard over there. I went there on a Saturday morning, and they were naturalizing people, and they started doing interviews at 7 a.m. so they could naturalize as many people as possible. Also, when I sue them, they act really quickly, so they're in my good book.
Okay. Any other advice you would give somebody like myself who's kind of like new to all of this?
Yeah, it would be that you and your husband should talk to an immigration lawyer, and you should hire an immigration lawyer to help because he's been out of status for so long. They're gonna try to be tricky. And oh yeah, I do have one other piece of advice, and I think I have a video on this, and that is, if someone's inside the United States for 17 years, a USCIS officer is almost certainly going to say to themselves, "I bet you $10 this dude claimed to be a U.S. citizen at some point on a loan application, a job application, a school application, on a work application." I'm convinced that he's made a claim to U.S. citizenship, because otherwise, how could he have worked for this company for 17 years, or how could he have lived here for so long? So you need to grill him hard on that question. Have you, and you like try to jog his memory. As long as he doesn't remember any, you know, that's a good thing. But if he remembers ever claiming to be a U.S. citizen, then we're having a very, very different conversation.
Okay.
You got
Thank
it?
you.
You're welcome. Bye, Rita.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a good day.
Bye.
All right, well, good thing. I mean, I know Huli wasn't here, but good thing Munir is keeping everything honest in the comments. I really appreciate it, Munir. Though that's a great post. I'm probably gonna make a video about this tomorrow. I think my man's in a little bit of trouble, Munir. I think that dude's in trouble. So, with all that being said, I think, let's see, tomorrow's Thursday. Let's see where our calendar is, what time the show is tomorrow. Maybe Huli knows what time the show is tomorrow, if she's still watching. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday the 8th. So it's 4 o'clock. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock, everybody, our usual time. See you then. Have a great night, and thanks for watching. Later.